That was a closet. I took a sick day off work last week and I fell down this Wikipedia rabbit hole. And what started as an initial search for the quickest Google Maps route to the movie theater ended in me uncovering this like 600-year-old mystery. Here's some context to that. My partner and I moved to Montreal from Vancouver about 3 months ago, and one of the first things I did when we got here was check out the metro system. The Montreal Metro was built in the 60s for the Expo 67, and when they built the initial network of trains, they also built something called the Réseau, Montreal's underground city. It's over 20 kilometers of interconnected metro stations, coffee shops, shopping malls, corridors, office buildings, shopping malls, long corridors, coffee shops, skating rinks, metro stations, long corridors. And I kind of stumbled upon this when I was checking out the metro and I had my camera. So here's some footage of me. And I feel like I'm not supposed to be here. There's art. There's like art. What is this place? Is this a mall? Oh, so it's like there's a big office building above us? So we're at the bottom of it. It is crazy hot in these tunnels. So it just gets a feeling that there are all these hallways paid for by different businesses and companies that sort of connect their own employees to the subway. More of that than a public service, I think. Can I walk there without going outside?
Where?
Yeah.
Tu vas par là, souterrain.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, it's a train station. I've been here. This is where Kira and I were on our first day when we huddled in that second cup for 2 hours while we figured out where we were gonna live. Oh God, I think we're at the end of the journey here. Oh, are you kidding? I thought for sure I'd be outside or at a dead end or hitting some locked door by now. Is that George Clooney? Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding? Like, I can't describe how it is to come out of a tube into an art gallery, into a building 5 stories high. Okay, I want to try to get up there. Here we go. That's crazy. So yeah, it's not exactly the society of underground crab people that I was expecting it would be. It's basically just shopping malls and coffee shops and skating rinks and corridors and skating. I was kind of disappointed with it. I wanted to see something fucking scary. I wanted it to be dank as fuck. I was looking for something like entire underground neighborhoods or like a secret network of long forgotten and buried rivers. So this topographical map was created by, oh God, Aristide Beaugrand-Chapagne, and it shows his interpretations of what Montreal would have looked like in the 1600s. It shows Montreal as a city being totally dissected and split up by these waterways, these rivers. And if we overlay it with a map from today, these rivers don't exist anymore. I'm going to take a bit of a tangent here, but we need to go through a little bit of Quebecer history. In the 1500s, French explorer Jacques Cartier was looking for a passage to China. He took off on his jetpack from France and he landed here in Montreal. A real visionary. Within a couple days, he had made contact with a group of Iroquois. This village, which we now refer to as Hochelaga, had over 3,000 people when Jacques Cartier first sort of made contact. After 500 years of winters and wars and Christians, and I'm sure nothing but puppies and sunshine when it came to, this kind of thing, the village of Hochelaga kind of disappeared. Nobody can really agree where it was. Google Maps says it's here. William Dahl Lighthall says it's here. Pierre Laroche theorized that it was actually at the top of Mount Royal, but Wikipedia does the Wikipedia equivalent of dunking him and says this hypothesis is not well supported. And one of the coolest sort of theories around the location of Hochelaga actually comes from this movie, Hochelaga Terre de Sam, or The Land of Souls. Filmmaker Francois Girard came out with this, and it's basically about a sinkhole opens up and it allows them access into this part of Montreal that was sort of inaccessible before because it was underneath of a football stadium. But the movie takes a fantastic dive into where the filmmaker and the writer thinks the village of Hochelaga was. Pretty cool. So just right there, like all of that, there's this infamous meeting of Europeans and indigenous peoples, and nobody knows where it happened, but it happened in Montreal. Whoa. Anyway, going back to the guy whose name I can't pronounce, Aristide Beaugrand-Chapagne. Fuck, I'm sorry. Somehow he used this map to theorize that Hochelaga was here in a neighborhood now known as Outremont, and I live here. So that's pretty cool. But the location of Hochelaga and all of this isn't what initially brought me to this map. What this shows is that there were tons of waterways and rivers lining the city. And where did they go? Underground. They put them under the streets, and now people are exploring them. This is Andrew Emond. Andrew's a photographer who moved to Montreal in 2006. He kind of just breaks into sewers and takes pictures of himself in them, which is super gross on the surface. But when you actually see what he's doing, it's fucking crazy. He stumbled upon this vast network of waterways that had been there for centuries. He didn't discover these because these were implemented by the city. He was one of the few people, from what I can see online, that explored them to this extent. And going back to this movie, one of the main plot points in the movie of Hochelaga is when the sinkhole opens up, it's because there's a river underneath of it that's sort of eating away at the soil underneath of the stadium. And that river is one of these waterways that were covered. It all fucking connects. So this photographer, Andrew Emond, he's also a writer, and he has a website called undermontreal.com. And he has tons of articles about just crazy shit that people have found or done underground. He has this one article, and it's simply titled, People in Sewers. He found this in 1921. An 8-year-old girl fell into a manhole, and her body was never found. Oh, I'm sorry, that was an ad for It Chapter 2. Just kidding, it happened. He also talks a lot about bank robbers in this article, and there was a criminal in the 90s named Marcel Talon. He would use the sewers to escape with his money. So he would rob banks and then disappear into holes. There's a whole documentary about him online, but I don't speak French, so I don't really understand what they're saying in any of it. I want to say check it out, but I don't know what it's about. Why am I talking about this? What does the rezo have to do with Hochelaga? I don't know. I don't know if other cities have this many crazy random tidbits. I know Seattle has the streets underground, Paris has the catacombs, and Egypt's got pharaohs, but Montreal has old white men in a dinghy underground.
Luc Leblanc and Daniel Caron are believed to be the first people ever to set foot in this underground vault. It was formed some 15,000 years ago during the last ice age.
That was discovered 6 months ago in a suburb in St. Leonard here in Montreal. And this shit doesn't end. Okay, this is a couple of shitheads exploring a tunnel. These guys just disappear into a hole. And they look like a bunch of dads on a fishing trip. I can hear you yelling at the screen. Dude, this fucking happens in every city. Every city's got a bunch of shitheads just fucking around, going down in the holes. Of course, happens in every city. Let's just check this out. Okay, so we have Tony Hawk Underground, the Vancouver level. There's some underground bands. Oh, this one, maybe? Underground Hospital. No. I don't know what the fuck's happening here. Excuse me for getting excited at the possibility of Quebecer mole people. Anyway, well, that'll do it for me today. Thank you for watching this exploration of sanity with me. I think that was... just a quickie here. I am trying to dabble back into the YouTube world. So if you liked this, or if this is something you want to see more of, please let me know. Subscribe or put a comment down. Also, thank you so much. People have really been enjoying that coffee video that's now 3 years old. I've been seeing a lot of people reaching out to me about like how they sympathize with my barista anguish. I have a bonus fact for you guys. Every summer, Osheaga Music Festival is here in Montreal, and it's like the 6th biggest music festival in the world. The word Osheaga, Hochelaga, it's the same fucking word. That's it, guys. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna go back into my closet until I have another idea.